Okay, so this is my first public speech going public with this information, so bear with me. And so it all started back in New Zealand, where I was in Wellington. There was a woman there. She had an affair with her sister's husband and accidentally got pregnant. And in the Pacific Island culture, you know that's very, very taboo, and the family would outcast you if you get found out. So what happened was she concealed the pregnancy for 9 months and completely hid it from the family, even went to the hospital, gave birth, came back, and no one even knew that she had that baby, and that baby was me. So a French man, a Samoan woman, came into the hospital, chose me, adopted me from there, flew me from Wellington to Auckland, and they raised me as their own. I was the only child, and they didn't tell me I was adopted, because the mother, she was, dark-skinned, and so I thought, oh, yeah. I didn't, didn't consider anything else. So one day I came home from school. I was 15 years old, and I came home, opened the door, walked in the lounge, sat down on the couch, went to watch the TV. My dad came straight in, clicked off the TV and said, "Son, we need to talk to you." And I thought, oh no, he found out what happened at school today. And so I sat down and he said, "Look, your mother and I have decided to have a divorce, and we're going to split up, and she's going to move out of the house." And I thought, 15 years old, what does that mean? What are you saying? He said, "She's moving overseas. She's found another man. She's gone. She's out of here. Next week, she'll be gone. And by the way, also, you're not really our son, and we're not really your parents." And I was completely devastated. I mean, that was the worst thing in my life. That was the worst thing I've ever experienced. And so, my whole world shattered. I every night I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat. I was just in tears every day. And I was going to school in that condition, and my friends noticed, and one of my friends was like, "You know what, you're always depressed. You need to smoke these drugs." And I thought, yeah, give me that drugs, Smoke the drugs. And I thought, oh man, where do you get more of this from? And then he said, "Oh, those guys over there." So I met those guys, and I was like, "How come you guys have got lots of money and cars and stuff?" And he said, "Oh, well, because we steal it." I thought, "Oh, how do you steal it?" "Oh, let me show you." So come with me. So I learned all the tricks, everything from how to hide from helicopters, police dogs, and they taught me everything. And this was my life. I'd go home from school, I'd have dinner, go to bed, 9 o'clock. My dad would go to bed about 11. 12 o'clock, my friend would knock on the window. I'd open the window, jump out, and we would go and break into cars. And I used to open the cars, and he'd go in and pull the stereos out, and we'd be filling up the bags, car after car. And one day, he was in the car, and I saw a police car roll up with the lights off. And I thought, oh, they must have got a call from somewhere. And there was a canine unit with the dogs in the back. And I thought, oh no, because this was the first time I'd ever had to deal with police dogs. And so I said, "You need to get out of the car now." And he's like, no, I want the stereo. I said, "No, get out of the car, the police are coming." And so we were arguing away, and then the police heard us. And then they got the dogs out of the car and straight away started running, and we hit the alleyway. And we were running down the alleyway, and I saw the torch, as the police were running, the torch was shining in front of us. And I thought, oh, we're not going to make it. We need to jump the fence. So we jumped up on top of the fence, and the dog must have miscalculated the jump and hit the fence. And we fell off into the garden, ran to the next fence, jumped over, jumped to the next one. And then I went out onto the street and hit the main road. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. Flew down the main road, fastest 100 meters ever. And I went into another house, hid under a tree. I was trying to catch my breath, and my friend was there. And I just could see these two eyes coming in the dark, like this, straight toward me. And I knew it was the dog, and I'd never done a backflip before. But I just jumped straight up, flipped straight over the fence. I ran straight to a hill where it was going down to the water. The police car was coming around. They were shining the torch out the window. Just managed to hit the grass and slide as the torch went past us. Went into the river, crossed the river to get rid of the scent so the dogs wouldn't chase us. Ran across there was a golf course there. Then we hit the highway because there's a big motorway there, and the police cars were coming into the golf course, so ran to the highway, crossed the highway, went to a park, found a set of train tracks, and then ran and followed the tracks all the way back to my house. 5 o'clock in the morning, climbed back in the window, went back to sleep, got up, went to school, carried on, and that was every day. Every night was out doing that. So Dad knew nothing about it. But I was a rebel, because after that experience, I realized that I don't know who these people are. Like they said they were my parents. They're actually not my parents. So who are they? Who am I? Where did I come from? And so it separated me from them. And from that point, it just went downhill. And the crimes turned into, from cars, it went to houses. And I was doing a house a day, breaking into houses a day, then 2 houses a day, 3 houses a day, then turned into shops, factories, scaling through supermarkets, and it just kept growing month in, month out, year in, year out, casinos, you name it. And we were just full-time, and I never got caught for any of it. I just continued to go, and for 5 years, I was in the underground dealing with drug smuggling and weapons smuggling. We ended up shipping containers of weapons from Korea into Nigeria at the time. And I was counterfeiting passports, credit cards, counterfeiting money, working with bikie gangs, and I was living the lifestyle, you know. And until one day, I was drinking in the bar and told someone about it. They called the police. Interpol came down, boom, took me out, threw me in jail. A lot of stuff happened in there, and I was on remand, because then you go to a court. They put you in jail first, and then you wait for your court date. Then they give you a hearing. Then they sentence you. Then, so I was waiting for that date. And while you're in prison, you don't get rehabilitated. What happens is you learn all the mistakes that other people made, so that you don't make those mistakes. So you end up actually learning more crime. So they told me how to get out of going to jail, how to get out from being sentenced, which I won't mention here. They said, when you get up on the stand, make sure you don't ask for a duty solicitor. Just say this certain thing, and then the judge will throw the case out. Sure enough, stand, said the thing, judge cancelled the case, put me on probation. So I was out. I tried to call my friends, and they were basically, none of them were there for me. And in the criminal world, there's a code of conduct which they all live by, and it's basically you don't leave your friends in the lurch, or whenever they're in trouble, you always back them up. You don't harm women or children, and you don't steal from poor people. And that's the general consensus. So all the prisons are split into 2 halves. One half of the prison is mainstream. The other half of the prison is those who have violated the criminal law. And that's how the prisons are set up these days, everywhere. So I came out of prison, went home to where I was living. All the friends were there. Took my bag, clothes, jumped in a train, left. Left house, cars, everyone I knew, girlfriend, everyone. And I relocated to another place. And once I was separated from it, I realized that I was living off the grid, because I didn't realize that, when I went to go and re-engage in the education workplace, I didn't have any credit record, no history, no bank account, no certificates, nothing. I was completely locked out. And I was thinking, man, I need to figure out how to learn how to live in the grid now that I've been off the grid for so long. And so I knew that I had to get knowledge. So I started engaging different communities, groups, churches. I went into different places, like I went to a Catholic church. I learned a lot of stuff there. I went into a Christian church. I went into a Buddhist monastery, learned from there. I went into a Scientology church, They taught me some courses there. One of them was called Personal Values and Integrity. And I thought, oh, yeah, that's appropriate for what I need. And I was like, do I need any pre-qualifications for that? I'm like, no, okay, fine. So I took that course, and halfway through the course, they said, oh, now you're at the stage where you've got to write down all the crimes that you committed and transgressions, because if you get them out, you'll unburden and feel relief. I thought, maybe, I'll write it out, but I'm not going to give it to them, So I thought, okay, I'll test it out, wrote it out. And it was like an onion. Once I started getting stuff off, it felt better and better, and I got more and more off. And after 2 weeks, I'd written a full ream of paper of about 900 crimes that the police never caught me for. And so the guy said to me, look, you need to, that's great, but actually you're a legal risk. So what you have to do is you're going to have to go to the police station and hand yourself in. It's not, you don't have to, but, it's the right thing. And I thought, man, these guys, I can't believe it. And I remembered I used to watch a lot of Bruce Lee films when I was young. And, his theme was always, if you ever wanted to get rid of a fear, you had to face it. I thought, man, yeah, that's right. So I went to the police station. I was expecting never to come back. So, once I handed them documents over. So I walked in there, gave them the documents. They looked at it, they thought, oh my God, there's a lot of stuff here. We're going to have to go through our records, and there's a fair bit of paperwork to match everything up. So, really? Oh, okay. All right then. So I went away. He said, go away, come back. So I went away. I came back a week later. I said, well, what happened? And he said, look, we'd have to send all your stuff over to another station. That's where most of the crime happened. I thought, oh, wow, damn. And so I rang them, and they said, look, we haven't received any files. And I was like, okay. Are you sure you sent it? No, we've sent it. Here's the reference number, blah, blah, blah. Rang back. No, absolutely haven't seen it. I thought, oh, okay. Are you sure you've sent it? No, we've sent it. Look, there's no point in calling us. It all happened there. It's out of our hands. Sorry. I thought, oh my gosh, okay. So they said, please don't call me. Okay. Went back to these guys. Are you sure? It's not here? They said, look, without any papers, what are we going to process? We can't do anything, mate. There's no point in calling us. Please, just don't call me. I stepped back and I thought, oh my God, I've failed again. Oh my God. And then I remembered, what I learned from the Buddhism side of it was, there's karma, and then there's this thing about, and I thought, oh wow, something good's happening. It must be karma. So I told the guy at the course, and he said, wow, that's awesome, that's amazing, but what you have to do is you can't just take from the community for 5 years and then get away with it again. You actually have to give back. So I rang the police, I arranged community service. They said, count your hours, pick a place. When you feel like you've done enough, let us know. I said, okay. Are you sure? Okay. So I got into community work. They got trained in it, volunteered in it for 12 months. Drug rehab, worked in prisons, worked everywhere, communities, schools, was having a ball. The kids, they couldn't lie to me because they're like, yeah, you're lying. You're lying. I know what drug you're on. And the kids were like, okay, you got me, So very easy to engage. And so after 12 months, I went back to the police station. I said, look, I've done almost 2,000 hours of community service here. Look, and he looked at that and he said, wow, man, that's impressive. What do you want from me? And I said, well, I can't get employed. I need something in writing that says that you won't press charges against any of the crimes I've committed. I know it's a tough ask, but, I need it. And because otherwise none of this really happened. And so he said to me, okay. And I just thought, oh, he's going to go, are you kidding? But he looked at me, looked at the document. Then he decided, okay, got the letterhead. He said, what do you want me to say? And he wrote, we the New Zealand Police will not press charges against any of the crimes Andrew's committed based on the documents that he submitted on this date, signed it, stamped it, gave it to me, said, mate, well done. You made it. So this is exactly what he wrote. So I kept a record of it because, otherwise it never happened. And so since that day, I was looking at lifetime in prison, and now I had complete amnesty and a brand new life, and I contributed it to the fact that I was helping others. And so for that 12 months, it was the best feeling I ever had, helping other people. And I looked at that as a reward for that. And so I dedicated the rest of my life to helping others from that point on. That was 16 years ago. And since that time, this is actually me when I was just got out of jail. So I was a little bit skinnier because I used to run like the clappers, So since that time, I haven't been running. So I work with the community here and a lot of ethnic communities, and I'm an advisor for them. I work with the Maori Wardens, and I do strategic planning with them, Africa Media, go into prisons, do mentoring with other youth, and I work with the Islamic community. I'm also an event planner for them. That's my daughter. I roped her into volunteering. And I do lectures on drug abuse and that sort of thing. And so this is how my life turned out. I'm a living, breathing example of you can change. You can change from the worst case scenario to the best case scenario. And I've done it and I can prove it. Thank you very much.